Hi, welcome. This is a 7.28. This is Vice Esports Cignal Ultra. This is the SEA Qualifiers in the DPC. We're going to see Cignal here. How about Rice, James E. Grimm's Van versus Vice's Paulos, Bob, Samuel, Zenki, and Ryu. They've got a lot of reshuffling, so it seems like the teams are. This is part of the qualifiers. This is pretty important. And if we're looking at the lane matchup here, AM Shadow Demon versus Arc Warden, Veno, and now it's a tri-lane with the Phoenix here. So AM has had a rough go at this already. Ursa mid, new meta, bad meta, Orbital Corrosion to kind of start things off. Some new items in 7.28. He's had a rough time seeing as he's 2 levels behind. Off lane on off lane action in the top lane. So tri-lane action to kind of start things off. I mean, if you can kind of hit multiple heroes with this, the Shadow Poison, I think you're going to have a good time. But overall, if we're looking at just the last hits alone, AM is 24, and I mean, bottom 3 right here, Cignal has 24. He just wants his health, and he's going to look the TP away. This is going to be super close. Okay, not as close as I thought, just because I thought that the ghost there probably, if it did trigger, it might have been able to secure that kill. But he's only level 4, and this is the problem with the tri-lane, is that you're kind of sharing that XP, so you're not going to have as high as, per se, you know, level 8 and what, 7 and 7 here? Tide Hunter has already got the hood. This guy is ballin', and it's only 7 minutes. Yeah, he has he's brown boots bought. He hasn't added courier to him yet. But he's almost been free. Ran has struggled to kind of get anything going as well.
Killing spree!
And Bob, looks like they got 3 kills already, and he's completely dominating Ursa. I think Ursa needs to just give up the lane. Support probably should just take them to the lane, just the XP. And of course, as I say that, they've also found the Phoenix. They get shot down at the end.
How many notches is that, most of us?
Denied. There's no deny there, but Zenki a little low though. We're gonna just eat these up. Take them. 3 shots. Not bad. 15 gold. Go for me. Weak. The bot, on the other hand, does have his ring of talent. Not have boots though. And as here comes the Phoenix, who should just refill the bottle. And Trade Pacific is going to continue to steamroll this. 8 minutes here. Ursa is level 6 though. But I think he's got brown boots on the way. Doesn't have phase yet, or even a TP. Died 3 times. He's had a rough go at things. If we're looking at the draft here, I mean, Ursa, Elsie, kind of blow him up, especially Mortimer Kisses. But this is definitely not a conventional lineup, right? You have the AM, he's conditioned there. This is going on here. He's getting so low. No chance. The disrupt is there to keep they do get the duel, so this should be created as first step, and that's actually a massive win for the winner way of LC. James, he actually secures that kill, but he was there to kind of make sure that he won off the lane, and this is one way to get back into the game, right? Grimm's here, just gonna run up here, and yeah, he should be slowly whittled down. Got nowhere to go. Oh, he does get the heal, so Van, overwhelming odds. Look to turn that around. He's like a superhero in the sense that he comes in with the heal, and he pushes them away, scurries them, and it looks like he's gonna just do a complete lane swap. A bot will take the top lane. Van will continue to ball here if he can, but again, Tide is having a great game, right? He's been able to just farm and just completely turn this off around. He's got mech queued up. Zenki on the other hand. I mean, this is the thing, right? If you can kind of just push the lane with your Arc Warden farm, you can just take the jungle, right? You do need to be careful so that you don't get jumped on by like 3 different heroes or, at the time, but other than that, as long as you're playing it safe, you're able to farm things out. And he's going to 1-1-1. It looks like he's going to go for this. Remember, both pairs are back. Now, but then Tip is there, and Creative Pacific is like, alright, I'll just wait this one out. Not much of a choice. He takes the focus on the T1 bottom. Double Archer Void Spirit. And then the first team, the first tower of the game, very massive. great to have, especially on the Arc Warden, because you double your pleasure, you're like double mint gum, and it will speed things up. So it's just a matter of time. Van, on the other hand, is going to back up. He doesn't have phase. He wants to get Blink next. Somebody needs to initiate on this team. All right, Shadow Demon is probably looking more for like saves. Snapfire just kind of staying in the back, doing what he can. Mortimer Kisses as well. So you do need some sort of initiator. And Vice have kind of turned things around, and those are just, you know, they got the bottom T1, and they're going to focus now on the mid T1.
Radiant have fortified their structures against attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They have enough. I mean, Ryu's kind of he's a fad. He's a fad. He's going to have a hard time. Eris is there, the remnant. It doesn't really matter. They have to burst and bobble and make sure that Eris has not had a great game. Struggle with playing losing game, your work.
Radiant's middle tower is no more.
Pretty well. James, on the other hand, look to go. Paulos is by himself. I mean, yeah, he's got his friend. Overwhelming odds hits onto both, and they got the duel, and they found it. Real one. They avoided the minute as well, but they got the duel. That's a really nice way. That's a nice move for Cignal. Definitely need that. You need more, you know, comeback potential. Just let them farm, and then you farm the heroes. That is probably the best way for them to come back in this game. I mean, it's one thing to take towers, which would be great and ideal, but sometimes you don't have that chance. So 7.28, a lot of neutral items, a lot of, you know, different. You're gonna have to just kind of work with it in the sense that we're all kind of learning. A lot of new items.
Dire have fortified their structures
One,
against
right?
attack.
Very trinket. I think it's pretty good.
Radiant's
Previously,
tower is
in like
danger.
7.27 and below, or I don't remember when the neutrals came out, but the neutrals where they always have like a little bit of a drawback. You were never like amazing. But this one seems to be
Structures are fortified.
straight up really good for us. So I feel like there's a pretty big power to 280. You gotta farm. Oh, we found a stack here, but he's actually not Super Saiyan yet. He can't even farm that stack. Henry, on the other hand, that's mass. Really good. So they feel effective with the fountain.
Radiant's top tower is in danger.
All right. D-War here. And it's going to be a smoke attempt. This is the first of the day. Going to try to wrap around.
Dire's bottom
Low to
tower
high is
is
always
in danger.
scary.
The Dire scan. On the hunt
They're
for
going
Radiant
a
forces.
long way. And they should see this. I mean, there's another smoke by Vice as well. But it looks like they're just going to smoke and take the enemy jungle. Vice are looking around. It's like two ships passing through the night.
Dire should look to their bottom
Not see
tower.
each other. They don't know. But it looks like Bob here. I was calling Creative Pacific. But Bob here, middle high ground. He should pop the smoke.
Radiant should
Grim's
look
is nearby.
to
They
their
do know
middle
somebody's there.
tower.
Step forward. Back. He's actually low. He does get killed. Bob with that nice play there. Ban is just gonna farm. And retreat. And just let Van be the second. Now they're gonna focus on this stack, which is done. And Ryu here will just continue to push the bottom lane. Has Mech, Arcane Boots, and the Hood of Defiance. All at less than 15 minutes, so he's having quite a game. Alright, in the mid lane, versus struggled, we know that. Phase Boots into Basher, okay. And mind you, they found Eris, but at this point it's like, you know, it's creep being killed, right? He's a range creep, so I don't think that we need to kind of zone in on him, but if anything, he needs to be pushing the lane, realizing that his value is great. He can't really contribute much, other than providing space for his carries. So he needs to be pushing, and you know, he got caught out there. But Vice, on the other hand, are just doing the smart thing, right? They're trying to choke him out, realizing that, hey, if AM does get the Battle Fury, which he is, he he's close to.
My path leads to riches.
Yeah, I mean, it's the amount of push and the split push is going to be there. So that will change kind of, it's like a pretty big power spike in terms of what they can provide. They still can't fight. So with that said, Vice continues to, they need to put, they take away all the objectives. About here is going to Glyph here, use this one, realize there's really no way to fight this. He's got Ravage, he's got Arc Warden Maelstrom now with, you know, the double minus thing. And even this Venom is super annoying. And yeah, he's been like position 5. He's done a great job. Providing space.
Is under attack. Top tower has fallen.
I'm gonna trade the T2 top for the bottom T1. Right here, Sunray is there. They're gonna use Ravage. And they're gonna try to slow down Van. One of them is actually not the damage Bob, and they're gonna disrupt him. And they do pull him back. They do end up killing Zenki though, so they got something out of that. But they didn't kill Bob.
Don't step in the corner.
James is gonna run off. Is back here. The creeps are Glyph, but he's gonna run to safety. Van on the other hand is gonna stick around. Nice little heal there to keep him alive. He's gonna go BKB next. Empire. Ooh, James is gonna fight this. Look to go. They do get the dive. Here comes the spray. He's gonna be a little off. Samuel, he does dive. He's gonna get slowed down, and he does get killed. James is double kill. James is gonna turn this up. He does get killed. Van actually had a kill at the time, or he might have. He's little fingers. Bob is gonna pull him back with his remnant, and they pull him out. And the Mana Void is there, and Bot is the perfect timing. He's got counter to the line. So to fight this one. He's looking to go, but they got Van. He's down, and they're going to focus on Zenki. Glyph doesn't pick him off in the end. They got a 4 for, I believe, 2. So not the worst trade. Pretty good fight there. Looks like also TP away. Quick push. A little bit of a jump here. Is it a comeback in the making, especially with Bot? Now he has the Battle Fury. Something you do need to respect. And look at, you know, his farming speed will increase. I mean, at least depending on how his, you know, his farming patterns go. But taking this T1 will be pretty massive, helping on his team, and it's only a 5k net worth lead. So this is something that you can come back from. And it's, I mean, it's only 18 minutes, right? 5k is pretty massive. But the fact that he does have Battle Fury could change this game. And Snakefire here. It's very tricky. It's interesting that, like, seeing the neutrals, right? Who's holding them? Who's got them all? Ooh, here we go. Possess Mask. This is pretty good. Heal and your primary attribute, you're gonna have a good time. So Ursa's in the back. James is looking at kind of ambush. The duel, really nice play. You secure that dual damage for Van. Dual damage. That's pretty decent. He's gonna get pulled back and call it a die. And at this point, slow. When they heal him, they got the snapback cookie. Oh, he's in shots. And he's fine for now. And if Ares is in position, they're going to disrupt the line. Here, just in the back, he's on the shadow work. He's got a little bit low in terms of the mana. But the remnant is off the mark. Bob is going to continue to stick around. He doesn't have invisible, so he does have something. They want to take this tower. I mean, you don't need to pop the invisibility, but kill this T1 for a gank, maybe get that engage, but overall not the worst in terms of comeback, right? This is what we want. We want a close game, but a very competitive game. Looks like T2 is going to be mashed on here. Not really much you can do. Shadow Demon, like Ares, trying to be cute against the Yules, and he's actually trying to bait him out, and he does. I mean, he baits out the Yules, nothing really of value for you, but not really what you intend to. And if anything, you would just kind of slowing him down, hitting that tower for a little bit. Bot is still in. He goes on Yasha now, and he looks to get Manta next. And in terms of net worth, man, this guy is like he's trying to claw his way back. As an AM, this is what you need to do. Do that all, right? That was actually pretty nice sequence of events, right? You saw Bot pushing the T2, and through that. Yeah, I mean, they knew they were going to lose the T2, but the call was made, and with a Ursa, you know, Roshan is pretty easy peasy, in the sense that you can just kind of take him down. So, really nice heads-up play, taking what the enemy gives you in that sense. this is gonna get closer, right? You do need to be careful. I feel like they've lounged around a little too much, thinking that, you know, Bob is, you know, she was snowballing, he was doing really, really well, but he hasn't been able to get very many kills since the beginning. Like, what? He has, as I said, he's 10, 2, and 1, but, I mean, through, like, he just has Yules, he doesn't have his Ags yet.
Dire's top tower is under
It's on the
attack.
trick. Yeah, it is. Okay, so he does have Ags now. And Ryu's going to continue to push the mid lane. He does have Greaves, but he's kind of fallen off as well. So they've kind of stymied the attack. And it looks like they've given space. James, on the other hand, is going to continue to farm. He's got drums, something you need him to, especially since he needs to fight, right? Ursa is the type where doesn't really fight very well in the long term, so you need to get as much farm as you can, right? And you need to fight fast. Getting those items with the drums is a pretty big power spike for him.
Dire's top tower is
Not the
under
best thing.
attack.
I mean, if you had Basher, it'd be better. I mean, he needs BKB now as well, so this is a nice understanding the pace of the game. I'm doing what you can. Here's LC Van. Can he get the blink? Rolling on, but he goes for Henry. Yeah, that's gonna stop him. For some reason, there. Not enough. Or not to heal it to the Aerosmith. Wow, this position is completely off the mark. And he got traded out for no reason. Yes, he was looking for that disrupt on the side, but just really bad position. I mean, you got this in the kill. There's really no reason to be off front. I mean, he probably should have stuck around in the back, made sure. But yeah, that was a bad sequence of events for Eris. Hasn't had the greatest of games. I mean, he's died 7 times already in 22 minutes, and that's a rough time for this. BOT on Arc Warden. Quicksilver Amulets again. Movement speed, great. Attack speed, great. Attack animation speed, that's an interesting one, right? That's something that you don't really see. I think that's the first item I've seen with this, which is pretty massive. If you don't know what that is, please do check out some of stutter stepping. I mean, it affects a lot of things in terms of how this thing went. Your attack speed definitely increases with it. Pull back on Eris. One other dies 8 times. Oh, but Grims is actually a lower level, which is interesting considering his 303. Hasn't died at all, but Eris, okay. So you're probably thinking, why is this guy out of position so much? What is he doing? Is this guy even a pro player? Yes, he's a pro player. He's pushing the lane. As Shadow Demon, this is what you can do, is poison. So you're going to be vulnerable. I think that if anything, you should be doing it more from like the trees, not exactly in the lane where it's very easy to find him and just pick him off. I mean, you're getting kills, but the guy is just such a, you know, so low in terms of net worth that the value is in Manta. Oh, but they found the right one. This micro, that they've got the remnant. Counter spell is going to be used. They do have the silence, and that's with the Ags, and Abacus goes down. That was a misplay. Look, if you're going to Manta out of this one, you need to micro the illusion or blink away. You got to have one of those things on cooldown, or you got to have fast fingers to do either. You cannot do what he just did, was Manta, and then walk the real one away, because it's super obvious. You found the right one with the Yules, and that's pretty much it. So Abak goes down, pretty massive there.
Dire's middle tower is under
But
attack.
to Cignal's credit, they do have a decent amount of D push. I said D. But they do have the amount of push that can kind of just kind of control the lanes. It's more difficult for them to kind of push high ground because of this D push from the Shadow Demon. So you have ways to kind of stop the push and to just buy yourself time. This is all you want, right? Arc Warding, yes, is definitely a late game hero that can kind of destroy things. But if he's going to fight up against like an AM, I think that in terms of,
Radiant's middle tower is
I
under
mean, he has, so it really comes down to the fight, how you get that. I think that AM would win in the end. Assuming he had some sort of, you know, I mean, if you've got the duel off on the Arc Warden, kind of control him, there are ways to kind of win out, right? Arc Warden is the type where he's good, and he can definitely win games, but he just out-farms you. And he pushes, right? If you can get the right gank on this guy, Arc Warding fumbles. He's kind of squishy in the end, and even an Ursa could blow him up. So it really comes down to Van making the right duel, making that right initiation. Void Spirit here doesn't have Ags. Talked about silence, very nice. He
Radiant's
does have
middle tower is under
looking to
attack.
stalk around. He's looking Grims is nearby, but Grims' positioning has been on point. I mean, not dying is amazing at this point, right? 25 minutes, your Shadow Demon has died a ton. I'm sure you're kind of like, this guy scrub, but no, I'm just kidding. Eris, he's played his part. He's played his role, what he needed to do, which was kind of stop the Lucas. Here comes the duel, and they found Bob, and they've got him. Mana Boy's committed a little bit early. They're trying to outfield this, but the Ravage has now been using Bob's, gets some Yules off, and he keeps himself alive. The Sunray is there, and Van's gonna go down. No, Bob does get killed. Disruptor's there to kind of save him. And it looks like James's gonna come through with the BKB, and they're looking to turn this, but they go right onto the egg, and they blow him up. And that's not enough. The Snapper Cookie is there, and they lock down Enryu, but no, they want the bigger fish, which is Zenki. Okay, they're gonna go for him. They didn't have, I mean, I think it was the Glimmer, which came from Enryu alive. They lost sight of him. But Palos, on the back end of this, ended up killing, what did he kill? Oops, let's not enter the Matrix here. Palos does kill Eris, so they got something, but it's a 2 for 3, but you lost Bob, which is actually pretty massive. You lost your offlaner and Van, but not the worst thing in the world here. Jamesy, on the other hand, that's the reveal of the BKB. Pretty nice timing, right? When the fight is right about to happen, right on the high ground, what do you get? Your BKB. You're able to kind of just thwart most of that, you know, that approach. So, just fortunate timing, I would say. All in all, great. But 7K is there. A net worth lead, that is, but it's still, this is definitely a game you can come back from, right? Vice are definitely not, I mean, they're in the driver's seat, but it's their game to lose. The Greaves is almost on point, almost saved him, but the Yules, and he wasn't able to step out. I'm talking about Bob in that one, you know, that team fight in the bottom. And so you got to be kind of careful. Here comes the duel. Oh, the BKB's been committed. The duel. He's got slow fingers of Bot. And Van is going to back off. Shame. So, okay, here's the thing. He was trying to get the BKB, right? So he did what? He pressed the attack. He blinked in, hit the BKB. And instead of going for the BKB, if he went straight up duel, he might have got, I mean, he definitely would have got the duel off, right? But that extra BKB push in this, like, space shuttle type of launch, that was actually just enough time for Tidebringer to get away. Kind of careful. You gotta be kind of careful with how this works, right? I think that if you're gonna overwhelming odds BKB from the high ground, blink duel. Like, once you blink, the next button you have to hit is duel. Because if not, you're gonna see what just happened like that, and Henry just gets away, right? So, timing your skills and your items, super important. He mistimed it and lost a pretty big opportunity for Van to get more duel damage, which I think, you know, which is what he needs, right? He's not gonna skill via items and farm, but he's actually just gonna do it by duel damage, and he's only got what, 70 damage for this? That's not actually, no, 60 duel damage. But I do like this ceremonial robe. I think the item, you know, even the images look great. But mana and lowering the status resistance. Okay. I mean, I get it. Hang on, let me just see if there's something other. Magic resist, spell damage. No, you don't do that. Ursa doesn't even have a neutral item. My God, buddy, stick with the program. Actually, I feel like there's an active. Oh, you can whip. This is pretty good. It's pretty good. I like this. Bull whip. Trigger some magic. I'll let the sword on the AM. Let that guy farm. Okay, so White are going to pick Roche. They are going to know this is up. Illusion is there to kind of spot things out. They realize that Roche is about half. The Shadow Point is on the high ground. And Van is coming through. He does have BKB. He's looking for the right target. He goes right for Enryu, and he's looking to just like Motor Kisses as well. But do they have the damage? Not enough. He's going to breathe. Egg is on the back. Jamesy's looking to fight this. He's got BKB. He's going to focus on Enryu, and he does end up killing him. So they do get one thing. Palos is very low. Jamesy doesn't have the BKB. He's going to let the TP away. He should be fine. And it looks like the buyback is going to be good. Samuel's getting a little bit low. Abad is in position. He's been silenced, and does he get killed? He got counterspelled, but that's the Aegis. And so they picked that off. Ended up Radiant. They did get the steal as well as the Aegis. Ravage is now going to be committed with buyback. Really nice play there. Grims is going to get glimmered, but he's going to get used his buyback. Dust there. That is the first death by Grims. Yes, it is. And AM doesn't have buyback, but that was actually not the best fight. You killed Enryu, yes, but he didn't actually commit his Ravage, right? I feel like this is one of those moments where you probably need to go for... Like, so many things happen, right? In the sense that, like, Enryu, is this really the guy that you want to go? Especially since, yeah, you killed him. He buys back and he can just Ravage in. And he ended up winning that team fight because of that Ravage, right? So I feel like, in a way, if he dueled and he went for Bob, blown this guy up, and I mean, let's just see if he's got it. He didn't have buyback. So that could have been a completely different fight. Right? They blow up the damage dealer. James is getting silenced. Here's the duel. Van is going to fight this one. Now they're going for Bob. That's the right target. And Van is getting a little bit low. He's going to back up, you know. He does have BKB keeping himself alive just for a little bit longer. But James is going to... BKB's going to be worn off. Eris is going to go for the disrupt. Probably will save his life. He gets a little bit... James is looking to just fight this one. But I think he went in. He should not have. He does not have buyback. And Paulo, oh my gosh, he's like a sniper in the sense that he's just sticking in the back. Getting just free right-click damage. That was a pretty big misplay by Janky there. Thought he was strong. With no BKB, you gotta respect it, right? You get slowed, silenced. I mean, this Veno's there. Can't do anything. Yes, they're gonna get the doppelganger, so they got something, but I mean, you need heroes at the end of the day. Baba's is the right target. That is the number one priority, right? Once he goes, you're gonna probably see the Ravage and the egg come in next, right? So you blow up Bob as quickly as possible, switch to the egg.
Balance.
I mean, you need to just kind of make sure that your focus is on point. I think Vice have great team fights, but Radiant here, Cignal, they need to play perfectly, right? These team fights are not easy for them because they tend to be more of like solo gang style, like the duel, blow them up, give your team a chance, right? Like this, you know, Shadow Demon needs to be on point in terms of maybe he disrupts the Phoenix or the Tidebringer, the Tidehunter, excuse me, which it gives you time to get that dual damage and to blow the guy up. I think that you need to kind of just work around those things. Those are like the big things, the spells on your team and how things are gonna work. And Hurricane fight back, Palos is there, but it's just a doppelganger which expires. So a lot of action and no actual gold exchange aside from that creep wave. But Bob is continuing to just kind of push. He's got Lincolns, and that's the right item here, right? You don't need BKB when the main, you know, killer, so to speak, is the fact that this dual damage is there. As long as you can prevent that, somehow stay alive, I would think that, like, most of this team needs to start thinking about Lincolns. Oh my gosh, Elven Tunic. Alright, Elven Tunic, attack speed, evasion, and movement speed. Okay, wow. It's tier 3. Oh, alright, hang on. I need to close the window. Give me a second. I don't know if you can hear the chainsaw in the background. Give me a second. I need to player perspective here. I think we're going to see a little bit of action coming in from Van. Give me 1 second. All right. So interesting time in the sense that, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm in Singapore right now, and it's actually Singapore winter. It's chilly. We don't have air conditioning on. It's that chilly out.
Double damage.
But people are apparently working outside. It's odd. You know? Hey, here we go. Smoke here. They're gonna try to find some sort of pick off. Palace will be there just to kind of push. They found Grimm. The duel is gonna be committed. They got the remnants. Over the duel, they're going to actually go look and fight the sun right there. They found Enryu, but they just kind of stopped that one. They do get him. Oh, he's getting so low, but the Greaves is there. He keeps him alive. James is like, oh, we didn't have enough damage. And James just gets killed, does not have buyback, and that was a disaster. If they got the Snapfire, let him die. Why would you sacrifice everything going into this? And that is a game-losing decision there. You lose that one, and now it looks like Vice have got 3 axes to your racks, and this is what they struggled with. I mean, you had buyback coming, they got Grimm's coming back, but I mean, there was really no reason to come over because that Snapper putting him out of position, and Van goes down as well. Collins, after field day, like, he just does so much damage. This looks, it goes from like, what, 7 to 100 in 9 seconds, right? It's a bad fight there. Warmer kisses all the way from the fountain, just trying to slow it down, but my god. You'll make one bad decision, and it compounds, right? Snowball. die.
Here I need.
Radiant's
And the fact that you went for Enryu again,
Radiant's
the target selection has been bad, right? Because what you do is you duel, and everybody and their mom right now, I mean LC, Ursa, AM, all have BKB. So what you're fearing right now is the Ravage, but when your 3 cores have BKB, you're fine. So this dude is just a giant watermelon who's gonna like right click whoever you're dueling. Because he's going to save his Ravage for when the BKBs have expired, right? And getting that perfect time, there's no reason. They want you to attack the Titan. You are falling into the bait in the sense that this is an offlaner who's very, very tanky. He stays alive because of this. Like, you blow up the damage unit. Like, Carlos, this is a good target. Here we go. Can you actually get anything? No, just keep it there and stop that. So if despite this, Mana Void is being committed. Yeah, he gets a little bit low, but and Van both go down, calls, and not much they could have done there just because the target selection is super important. Why are you going for the target? It doesn't make any sense. Vice Esports will take that first game. And they did it in pretty clinical fashion, I would say. I mean, it wasn't like the easiest of games. They definitely had chances to come back. Cignal, that is, but my gosh, a lot went wrong in this one. Target selection, Eris needs to kind of just work on a little bit of positioning. I think he needs to hide a little bit better. I think he's not using the Fog of War to the best of his abilities. And this is a gank heavy lineup, right? If you're not getting those ganks and you're losing the laning phase, you're gonna struggle. And the fact that like we kind of saw that, like they couldn't really fight into this, and then at the end, Vice Esports, you have an easier lineup with this team fighting lineup, makes it very easy. So. Alright, please give a like and subscribe. I hope you stayed in tune. We're going to have a lot more games coming up in the DPCs. This is a pretty big one. I love the fact that they're doing this. There's going to be a lot of games coming in, so I'll try to do as many as I can. Within reason, of course, because there's going to be just, you know, all the different regions and everything. But great game nonetheless. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys next time.